Hey guys, uh, I decided over the next little while too that I'm going to be showing off all my updated video game collection, and I got a lot of games here, so we're going to be going through these relatively quickly, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to start with the NES, and NES is I got a pretty big collection, but we'll start with the NES. And like I said, all these games are the games I have now. And the first game we got is, and they're in alphabetical order too. So is the 3D Battles of World Runner. I like this game. It's made. Well, it says it's made by Acclaim, but I think it's made by Square Enix too. Oh, it's developed by Acclaim. It's published by Square Enix. I remember that. Uh, it's like a rail kind of thing. You don't stop moving and you jump over, you fight dragons and stuff like that. It's a fun little game. And I think Nobu Uematsu made the music for it. So, next up we have Eight Eyes. Not very familiar with this game. I don't think I've actually played it yet. But I do. I'll have to hook up the NES and play it. It's made by Taxon. I don't know. I heard some kind of like an RPG or action adventure kind of game, but again, I really don't know too much about that one. But I got Eight Eyes. One of the black box games. 10-yard fight. It's football. It's football. So, yeah, it's football. Sorry. We have 720 degrees. I think it's some kind of skateboard game made by. Yeah, I think it's some kind of skateboard game, but I've only played a little bit of it and I didn't get too far into it. So then we have 1942. Shoot 'em up when you're playing as a World War II airplane. It's fun, uh, but in my opinion, 1943, the sequel's better. 1943 takes everything that's 1942 and just improves it. So, yeah, I got 1943. So, shoot 'em ups, classic shoot 'em ups. Then we have The Adventures of Lolo, which I have done on my channel already. Oh, and I've done the Battles of 3D World Runner on my channel too. So anything that you see, any game that I've done on my channel, I'll mention that I've done on my channel. But puzzle game made by Hal before Kirby. So that it's decently hard. But you're this little guy named Lolo trying to rescue his girlfriend Lala, and so like that. And it's just a puzzle game at its best. It's really hard, but it's a fun game. Then we have Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, made by Capcom. So this game's fun. It's short. It's tricky. I haven't done it on my channel yet, but it's gonna be on this year's 8-Bit Summer. I'm doing 8-Bit Summer, which y'all already know, and I just finished up DuckTales 2, but it is going to be one of the games for 8-Bit Summer this year. So it's coming on my channel. It's got a bunch of puzzles, mini games like that. It's not that long of a game, but it's fun. Just like most Capcom games in that era. Then we have Anticipation. There's a little meme with the chase I do, the video game quiz show I do with Anticipation, but it's a puzzle game where they draw pictures and you got to guess what it is. You get puzzle pieces, and I just knocked over half of my games, but it is what it is. So anticipation. Then we have another one I don't think I've ever played before, but I've heard it was pretty good. It's called Astyanax. If anybody can tell me what Astyanax is about, that'd be cool. I'm not really sure what it's about. I'm not sure what kind of game it is. I haven't actually played it yet, so. Let me fix these up real quick. Alright, whatever. Then we have Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge. It's NASCAR. Made by Konami, but it's NASCAR. So, what can you say? Then we have another game I have done on my channel. I did it for 8-Bit Summer last year, I think. I think it was one of the games I did last year. Blaster Master. Made by Sunsoft. Sunsoft makes some amazing games too. They've done like Batman and Blaster Master and stuff like that. They do some amazing games. Action adventure, where you drive around a car named Sophia the Third, and you try to rescue your frog, and there's aliens involved and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Blaster Master. Then we have A Boy and His Blob. Puzzle game. You have a blob. You got a blob. You go around. You feed it with jelly beans. And depending on what kind of jelly bean you feed it, it turns into different objects. It's a fun little game. Puzzle. Then we have Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout. Another puzzle game where you have to get all the carrots and keys to get to level the level. It's not that good of a game, but it is what it is. I'm trying to collect as many of the NES games as I can, so. Then we got another game that I have done on my channel. In fact, I've done the whole trilogy. I don't have the whole trilogy physically, but Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. The black sheep of the trilogy. Most people like that 1 or 3. 2 has, but 2's still good. I mean, it still has its moments. But I mean, well, I mean, it's a little bit more RPG like, but I mean, and you have to do a little bit of grinding, and there's a bunch of stuff that might be a little confusing, but it's not that bad of a game. Another game I've done on my channel years ago, probably 9-10 years ago. Deja Vu. Point and click adventure. You're a detective and you're trying to solve a murder mystery. Yeah. Basic point and click adventure game. So. Then another game I've done on my channel. I know I've done it for 8-Bit Summer, maybe last year or the year before. It's Dick Tracy. You're Dick Tracy. You're going around gathering clues, arresting people, trying to uncover stuff. So, yeah. It's not that great of a game, but, I mean, it's hard. But, I mean, it's not that bad. Then we have Donkey Kong Classics. It's Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. on one cartridge, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so, I mean, if you like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., there you go. Then we have another game I've done on my channel. I've done 1 and 2 on my channel so far. I know 3 is for the NES also, but I haven't done 3 yet, but it's Double Dragon. Nice beat 'em up style game. Beat 'em up at its classic. It's a classic beat 'em up. So, I mean, yeah. You can't go wrong with it. I'm going to put these up. So I won't get so lost. Let's see, so. All right, so let me put these up, and I'll be back with the next stack. So, come on. All right, I'm almost there. Sorry, I'm putting these back up, so I don't have to worry about it later. No, I can clear my feet. There we go. All right, so now we're on the next stack. That was just one stack. All right, next up is I am Dr. Mario, and I am describing nice Dr. Mario. Puzzle game, kind of like Tetris style. You have to clear viruses and throw pills in there, match up colors. It's very classic puzzle game. Then a game I have done on my channel. I've done 1, 2, and 3 on this series so far. It's Dragon Warrior. Very old school RPG. One of the first RPGs created. Came out even before Final Fantasy 1. So, yeah. It's slow paced and a lot of text based, but it's fun. Then we have Duck Hunt. Bang bang. Light gun game. Duck Hunt. And you shoot ducks. What? And you got the dog that laughs at me if you miss a duck. So what can you say? Yeah. Then another game I have done on my channel. DuckTales. Woo! Doom doo 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 everything. So yeah, I got DuckTales. I used to have DuckTales 2, which I just finished on my channel. That game's worth a couple $100 now, but I had a bunch of games in storage and I kind of lost the storage unit. So I'm trying to collect my collection. But DuckTales, platforming at its finest, great music, fun game. Then we have another game I've done on my channel. I didn't know how to pronounce it at first, but I found out I was pronouncing it wrong. But I have done it on my channel. It's Xanadu. It's like an RPG style kind of game where you're like a guy trying to rescue your race from evil elves or dwarves or something like that. And you have to sort that. So it's RPG style. Then we have Fester's Quest. Another Sunsoft game, but surprisingly not a very good Sunsoft game. It's one of the few games that Sunsoft kind of blubbed up on. It's not a terrible game, but it's definitely one of the weaker games. You play as Fester Adams from the Addams Family, and it's hard. It's frustrating. It's not terrible, but it's definitely one of Sunsoft's weaker outings. So, all right, then we have. Of course, I've done this on my channel. I've done it on my channel. The original Final Fantasy. What can you say about it? I've done nearly all the main Final Fantasies on my channel. And I'll be doing Final Fantasy 16 before long because I'll be getting my PS5 here in about a week. So that'll be coming on my channel before long. But it's the original Final Fantasy. Woo! And then I actually have a reproduction cart because this game was never actually released on the NES, but somebody translated it to English and put it on a cart and actually bought it. It's Final Fantasy 3. It's the original NES Final Fantasy 3. It's, like I said, translated to English, and they made a reproduction cart and released it. I actually bought it. It's fun. It's Final Fantasy 3. It's hard, especially toward the end with the Crystal Tower, but it's a fun game. All right. Then we have Ghostbusters 2, which is way better than the original Ghostbusters game. It's more of a platformer. You're actually going around shooting and taking care of ghosts. So, it's still not great, but it's way better than the original Ghostbusters. Then another game I was going to put on my channel, but I've held off on it for a while. But, I mean, I might still do it, but It won't be probably this year. I've already got my 6 games, and it's not on my list, but it's Gradius. It's space shooter, shoot 'em up, but the game's really hard, and I'm not exactly sure how I'll put it on the channel anyway. But it's a very classic shoot 'em up game. Then we have a game I have put on my channel. In fact, I put it on my channel last year for 8-bit summer. It's Hide Glide. It's not good. It's a wannabe Zelda, although this game came first, but Zelda did it better. But it's not good. It's confusing. It's hard. But I mean, what can you do? But the game is just frustrating as hell. I promise none of my other collection. Oh, okay, maybe a couple of them, but are going to be this long. Then we have, I think, another black box game. Ice hockey. It's hockey. It's one of the first hockey games on the NES. In fact, I think it is the first hockey game on the NES. I'm not sure if this is one of the black box games or not, but it's hockey. All right, then we have Jeopardy. This is it's Jeopardy. You know what Jeopardy is? You have to answer questions in a form of a question, and blah blah blah. It's Jeopardy. Then we have John Elway's quarterback football. It's football. It's a football game. Yeah, we're getting into some of the stuff that I don't know. It's football though. It's a football game. Then we have another Square Enix game, or Square Soft, that came out again before Final Fantasy. It's King's Knight. This game's not very good, but I mean, it's kind of like a shooter. You have to go around shooting everything, collecting, and you have to make sure all four people survive, or you're not going to beat the game. But yeah, that's what that is. It's Marubu Matsu and all that stuff, but it's before Final Fantasy. In fact, I think this is a game before Final Fantasy, but again, it's not good. Then we got a classic, and I know this is a black box game. It's Kung Fu. Going up a pagoda, trying to save your girlfriend Sylvia from Mr. X. It's classic. It's short, but it's fun. You can get hard toward the end, but it's Kung Fu. Then, of course, I've done this game on my channel. I've done a lot of them on my channel, but it's The Legend of Zelda, and I have the manual too. What can you say? It's the original Legend of Zelda. What it started it all. So, yeah. What can you say about it? But it's fun, it's hard, it's cryptic, but it's fun. Then we have Mickey Mouse Capade. It's another Capcom game. It's okay. You play as Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, and I think you're going around trying to save something. I can't remember exactly what this game's about, but it's okay. It's short. It's okay. Then we got another puzzle-ish kind of game, but with bombs. It's called Mighty Bomb Jack. It's made by Tecmo. It's bombed. It's like a puzzle game with bombs. You have to clear all the bombs. I think you have to destroy everything, collect everything, and like that. But it's basically a puzzle game, but with bombs. All right, that takes care of the second stack. So let me put this up real quick. And move on to the third stack. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to clear it. Sorry. Alright. Alright. Now for the third stack. And make sure I'm going to put these in alphabetical order real quick, and then we'll get started on it. All right, let me see here. Almost. All right. All right. All right. Sorry. All right. Finally got in an alphabetical order. Let's go. We got 2 more stacks. Next one is Mylon Secret Castle. It's another puzzle kind of adventure platform game, but very, very cryptic. It's very hard. I haven't personally really played much of it, but I just heard that the game's really, really, really hard. It's not that, but I know Angry Video Game Nerd did an episode of it, but I really don't know exactly maybe too much about it. So now a game I know I've done on my channel is Ninja Gaiden. It's Ninja Gaiden. It's hard. It's platforming. It's really, really hard. It's Ryu trying to save his, trying to figure out what happened to his father. And it's ninja stuff. It's very, very fun, but it's very, very hard. Yeah. So then another one I've done on my channel is Ninja Gaiden 2. The sequel, continuation, just as hard, just as fun. So there's more Ninja Gaiden. There's more Ryu. It's more Irene. It's more idols. It's fun. Then we have dropping it on the floor. Nintendo World Cup. Soccer. I heard this. This is actually a pretty fun soccer game. Now, I'm not a huge soccer fan to begin with, and I do have the instruction manual for it. But it's soccer. Made by Nintendo. So, what can you say? It's soccer. Now, this game I don't know anything about. So, if anybody wants to tell me a little bit about it, that's fine. It's called Orb 3D. Don't know anything about it. But, I mean, it looks okay, but I really don't know anything about it. I've never played it. I just have it for my collection. But anybody can tell me about this, see if it's worth playing. Maybe in a future 8-bit summer or something like that. Y'all let me know. I might pull out my NES and just try it, but, I mean, I've never personally played it, so I don't know anything about it. Then we have Rad Racer. It's racing game. I think it's got 3D glasses. You can use 3D glasses for it. But it's actually a really classic racing game. I think it's made by Square, but or at least published by Square, but I can't really remember. But it's Rad Racer. Then we have made by Rare, RC Pro Am. Another racing game, but it's made by, it's little RC cars. It's actually really fun. It's really fast paced. You can use weapons and oil slicks and stuff like that. Upgrade your cars and stuff like that. It's actually pretty fun. Then I got I think this is an unlicensed game. It's made by Tenjin. It's Tenjin game, but it's Rolling Thunder. I don't know really much about that one either. So if anybody want to tell me about this one, that's cool. It's made by Tenjin. So I think this is like an unlicensed game, but anybody want to tell me about it? That'd be cool. But it's called Rolling Thunder. Then we have made by Konami, Russian Attack. Don't really know too much about this one either, but I have played it. But it's been a long, long time. I want to say it's kind of like a Contra kind of style kind of game, but I could be wrong. If anybody want to refresh me on that. Then a game I have done on my channel, in fact, my friend Hunter gave me this game, is Rygar. It was fun. It's hard, but it was a fun game. I did this on my channel a couple years back for 8-Bit Summer. But yeah, I'm definitely, it was fun. You play as a guy that gets brought back to life, and he had to save his kingdom, and use his little weird looking like disc weapon. But it's fun. So then the game I've done on my channel pretty recently actually is Bart versus the Space Mutants. Not good. But I did do it on my channel. So it's The Simpsons, but this game doesn't get a whole lot of it's not a good game, so you have to go around trying to defeat these space mutants by taking care of purple items or collecting hats or can't remember what the third level was about. And that's just how much I don't care about that game. And speaking of The Simpsons, Bart versus the World. More of the same. Except you're going around the world and you won a contest and Montgomery Burns is trying to stop you for some reason, and he talks to all of his relatives to try to stop you, and you have to go around the world and try to defeat his relatives. It's still not good. All right. Then we have Skate or Die. It's a skateboard game. It's very basic. It has a few little mini games. It's got like a little bit of attitude to it, but I mean, it's just basically a skateboard game. You go down half ramps. There's a little racing game. It's kind of bare bones. There's really not too much to it. Well, then there's Skate or Die 2, the sequel. More the same, but I think there's a little bit more to it on this one. So, but it's more the same. But I think there's more. It's called The Search for Double Trouble. But I think there's a little bit more to this one, though. But it's still essentially a skateboarding game, so. I don't know really too much about this one. But if anybody would tell me about it, it's made by Taito. It's called Sky Shark. Don't know too much about it. I'm assuming it's probably like a shoot 'em up game based on the cover. But you may want to actually tell me what it's about. That'd be cool. Then we have another game I'm not totally familiar with. It's called, and it's made by Trade West, Solar Jetman. I think I've played a little bit of it. I think a little spaceship, and you're trying around collecting your spaceship pieces so you can get off the planet and stuff like that. But I could be wrong about that. But y'all let me know. Now, a game I have done on my channel is Star Tropics. Fun game. It's a Zelda clone kind of style, but it's still a fun game. It's got a nice little story to it. It involves aliens and stuff like that, but it's got a nice little story. You use a yo-yo. It's more trying to make it more modern. Use yo-yos and baseball bats and cleats and stuff like that. So it still has a little bit of fantasy stuff to it, but I mean it's a little bit more grounded than some of the games. But it was fun. And it's one of the one of the few games that this game that was made in Japan, but only released in North America. It was intended for North Americans. So then another game I've done on my channel was Street Fighter 2010, made by Capcom. You go around defeating certain enemies, open up portals, you're trying to figure out what happened to your dad, and you play as Ken, and you go around destroying different targets. So that it's an okay game. It's just okay. And the last one in this stack, I've done this game on the channel, and anybody and everybody who had an NES had this game. Super Mario Brothers. What can you say? It's Super Mario Brothers. The original. The thing that started it all. What saved the video game industry in itself. So this game's iconic in itself. All right, let me put this stack up. We got one more stack. All right, last stack. Speaking of Super Mario, we have Super Mario Brothers 2, which I'm not going to tell the story, but it's not the actual Super Mario Brothers 2. It was deemed too hard for Americans, so they got one of their games, Doki Doki Panic, made it into a Mario game. It's a black sheep, but it's still fun. I mean, it's fun. So, then of course, my favorite game of all time, literally my favorite game of all time, Super Mario Brothers 3. Takes everything you do from Super Mario Brothers and just adds it and stuff like that. I don't know. This game is literally my favorite game of all time. And I'm not afraid to admit it. This is my favorite game. It's like the best Mario game, and it's my best game, my favorite game literally of all time. So then another game I've done on my channel is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not great. It's hard. I mean, it's not bad, but when you think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you think of like beat 'em up games, not much they do for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and TMNT 3. This is more of a platformer, puzzle, where the freak do you go, hard kind of game. But I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. I mean, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and no, it's okay. Tetris, the puzzle game of the end all puzzle games. So I mean, what can you say? It's just the puzzle game. Make flip blocks, make lines, keep going until you can't go anymore. So then we have Tetris 2. More the same, but they change up the shapes and add bombs to it. Basically clear the bombs, move on to the next level. I mean, it's still kind of Tetris style. Then you got different little shapes, but I mean, I don't know too much about this game. It looks probably like a shoot 'em up space shooter, but somebody can tell me it's 2D Earth. Don't know too much about this one, but somebody can tell me about it. But based on the cover, it looks like a shooter kind of style game. But yeah. Then we have Top Gun, flight simulator game. Can't land the plane. It's okay. It's not good. It's just okay. So you go around shooting up airplanes, and you have to land the airplane, and don't even really follow the movie, but it's all right. All right. Then we have Top Gun second mission. More of the same. But I think this game's a little bit better. They improved on it a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's better. It's still more Top Gun. So. Then we have winter games. Basically, it's just like a compilation of winter games, snowboarding and skiing and stuff like that. It's just a compilation of winter games. And it's called Winter Games. We only got about 3 games left. Oh, Wrath, made by Taito. Wrath of Black Manta. Don't know too much about this one. If somebody want to tell me about it, but I mean, it was cheap. I found it. So, but I really don't know too much about this one. So then we have one I have done on my channel, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. I don't care what anybody says. I think this game's pretty good. It's hard. It is a black sheep. They try to make it more of like a side-scrolling RPG kind of style. We go around getting magic spells and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's hard as balls, but, I mean, I still don't think it's that bad of a game. So, and the final NES game I have, which I have done on my channel, is Zoda's Revenge Star Tropics 2. Which I believe is the last officially licensed NES game that can be released. It's either that or Wario's Woods. One of the two. But it's still Star Tropics, but I don't know if it's not quite as good as the first one. It involves time travel. We have where you open up a little thing and say a spell, and you go back to like the Stone Age and places with Sherlock Holmes and Leonardo da Vinci, and eventually Zoda comes back, and you have to fight Zoda, like different forms of Zoda. It's more the same. It's improved upon a little bit but overall it's still more the same, and it's good. And it's too bad this is the last game of the series. I wish it would have come out with their Star Tropics game. All right, so that's all the NES games I have. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Next up will be Super Nintendo, which it won't be nearly as long as I only have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 15 NES Super Nintendo games, so none of these will be too long. Than Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, and we'll just do it all at once. I might do like Dreamcast and PS1 all both at once because I don't have too many of those games. But we'll figure all that out. But PS2 and Xbox 360 and some of these are going to be a lot because I have a lot of them. So anyway, y'all have a good day. I'll be back with some Super Nintendo. So have a good day.